Hello, welcome back to Fallout London. The last time I showed you how to get the best early set of defensive gear, which I'm wearing right now as you can see. Respect my authority, baby. But anyway, this time let me show you how you can get some early weapons that will really help you survive for longer. So it's one thing to avoid dying after taking a few hits, which we address by getting the police riot gear. But at some point you have to actually finish off enemies so they don't eventually kill you, right? So it is worth increasing your attacking abilities. So just as a reminder, this is just after we cleared the Swan and Mitre pub, right? So I haven't done any quests, I haven't done anything for anybody. I am literally still level 3, right? As low as you can possibly get. And all we did was just go down and pick up the right gear and came right back. The weapons that I've got are basically the ones you find in the tutorial or in the early sections of the game. And generally speaking, they're all random, right? So there's no guaranteed great weapons that early. So the mod does make it a little bit more difficult to find weapons in the early game. It's not like Fallout 4 where you get machine guns and power armor and whatnot. No. In this mod, you actually have to work a little bit harder. So let me show you how you can find some really good weapons that will tide you over for at least a decent chunk of the early game. And let me show you how you can find them. So let's start at this one in Mitre, of course. We'll go south. Hopefully the game won't crash because I'm sprinting. Just south of this one in Mitre is the Hound. And we're inside. This place is not too dangerous. But having said that, okay, let's check this out. Yeah, make sure you don't miss this. The cute Thulu little doll. It's an unnerving feeling. Yes. You probably want to loot the rest of the place as well. But you want to go upstairs. Is it here? I think so. Yes, it is. Yep, generally speaking, you're just going to be dealing with cockroaches. There's a couple of grenades here as well if you want. But let's go upstairs. That's where the goodies are. And yeah, make sure you check out all the posters in the game. Lots of good work there. Really good work. And there's the office, right? Right, there's a bit... Forgot about you. But yes, there's a bit of loot there. And this is the ex-owner of the pub. But if you come this way, that's the kitchen. Wait, what? Oh, here. To the last room, there's another cockroach, yep. Oh, it nearly armored itself there. Yes, I'm familiar with cockroaches armoring themselves with bins. And becoming invincible. We've all seen that. You want that. Now that longsword, 45 damage. That is twice as much damage as any of the weapons that I have now. Right? It is a bit slow swinging, but the increased damage kind of makes up for it, I would say. Yep. And it's got a fairly decent arc. But yes, this is probably the most effective weapon you can find at this stage. And also, make sure you do not pick up that combat coaster. It is kind of bugged, so let me show you. Just as a reminder, the longsword does 45 damage, right? Let's pick up that. On paper, this coaster is meant to increase your damage by 5%, but it's bugged. So don't pick it up for the time being, because it will halve your damage. That's bugged. And we're back to the time before I picked up the coaster. So yes, don't pick up the coaster, because it will halve your damage. So we are back once again to 45 damage. So yes, do not pick it up. It will just make the game harder. In any case, the longsword is the best melee weapon you can find at this stage. After leaving the Hound, then turn and go further south, and turn right into this alleyway. There should be a bunch of ladybugs over here, so be ready for a fight. But you do find some guaranteed weapons over here. There's a couple of police skeletons. Unfortunately, we can't take their armor. Anyway, that's a truncheon and a 9mm pistol, so they're guaranteed, as well as a crowbar. Yep, you can also use the helmet as well. The helmet is decent, but no match for the riot gear, right? So that's what, 2 and a 5, compared to say 9 and 11. And this guy over here has similar kits. Okay, after having looted those two nice fellows, go back onto the main road and go further south. Now, generally speaking, I wouldn't recommend relying on the 9mm, just because it's not a bad weapon at all, right? It's actually very effective. But the problem is that it's 9mm, and ammo is actually quite scarce for that. Ah yes, if you want to get this. Some people have reported that they get massive bugs if they do, but this is actually a decent helmet. Yeah, early on if you don't have a better helmet, this is actually quite decent. And you can actually wear things like glasses and even smoke inside it. But yes, keep going further south. So we're making our way back to the do-it-yourself hardware store. Ah yes, and if you haven't spoken to this guy, he's usually here on a regular basis. He's a traveling merchant, of course. He sells armor. He sells decent gear, but at the same time, I wouldn't recommend buying from him. Just because things get expensive very quickly, right? But anyway, the armor that we have is pretty much comparable. Let's keep going further south. And if you haven't got it already, make sure that you go into this shop. Yeah, the Wolfie's Terminal Exchange. And make sure you get the backpack. There you go, for an extra 45 carrying capacity. Suitably equipped, let us carry on southwards. Oh, hello. Ah yes, make sure you don't aggro those guys. Yes, sneaking is always healthy, right? And this chest over here, right in front of the do-it-yourself hardware store, I don't know if it's randomized, but I've always found a revolver here. You want the revolver. Seriously, aside from the ammo, you want the revolver. One of the reasons is that it fires 32 ammo, and 32 ammo is the most abundant ammunition in the early game. Easily, by far. You can also modify this to become better, right? To be more effective. You can actually turn this into a decent sniper. Okay, so I've loaded into a different save much further into the game, and we're inside the do-it-yourself hardware store. One of the missions will send you to clear this place, and on the back you'll find this weapons workbench. So let me show you what the revolver can look like. You can apply all of these mods without any perks in Gun Nut. You can actually improve it further with Gun Nut, but even without it, you can actually make the weapon quite decent. I actually found the crude revolver to be my main go-to weapon during fights. I would actually recommend going for a reflex sight versus a scope, just because this weapon is not that great at long range. So you want to keep it at kind of like close combat ranges, right? Okay, so let's back up to the shop where we found the backpack. And we'll turn and go towards this little symbol over here. Now, do not walk into the glades by that door. Do not. Instead, go further back up north. And turn into the alleyway over here, which also has an entrance to the glades. Which again, I don't recommend walking into. What you want is a car park behind it. Now there should be a couple of enemies there. There's cultists. Well, there should be cultists. I'm not quite seeing them here. And there's a bit of a trap, by the way. Oh, he's dead. What? What happened to... Oh, he ran into his own trap. Ah, yes. And if you need another shotgun, then here's one. He must have run into his own trap. Or he got into a fight and something ran into a trap. Interesting. Anyway, you want to go upstairs. And be very careful before you get to the top.
Who's there?
Yes, she's very wary. Very, very wary. Oh yeah, and there you go. The problem is that she stands there, kind of there-ish, and she looks at both the ramp and the stairs at the same time. So it's actually very difficult to get a drop on her. You can kind of like bum rush her. Oh, she got into a fight somehow. Not sure with who, but she got into a fight. Hey, hide your nakedness, lady. Oh, hello, what's wrong with my clothes? I think it's a suit, yeah. But anyway, the reason you fight her is because of this service rifle here. It is the best early sniper in the game. once you mod it, of course. It is still very effective without any mods whatsoever, but it is much more effective once you're able to mod it. And of course, in order to do so, you need access to a weapons workbench, which you'll get after you clear the do-it-yourself hardware store, right? But even without any mods, it's still very, very effective. Seriously, very, very effective. Even better once you mod it, though. Oh, it looks like she got into a fight with dogs. Where did they come from? Okay, that must have been a random encounter that just happened. But back to my latest save, this is what the rifle can look like once you've upgraded it. And the best thing about it is that you don't need any perks in Gun Nut. Yes, I think this is the only weapon that you can actually suppress without any perk points. And it's really, really important, seriously. A silenced, long-range sniper is critical to surviving in this game. It makes a huge difference. The same with the scope. You can actually attach a scope without any perk points. So basically, the reason you want this service rifle is because you can turn it into a great sniper without spending any perk points. If you start investing in Gun Nut, then you can actually upgrade the receivers to make it far more effective. So even one level of Gun Nut turns it from a 37 damage to a 46 damage weapon, which when it comes to headshots plus sneak attacks and everything like that, makes a huge difference. But like I was saying, the most important things about the service rifle is that you can suppress it and attach a scope to it without any perk points. So this takes care of your long-range sniping needs, or at least medium-range sniping needs. The major disadvantage of this weapon is that it uses 303 ammunition, which is very rare in the early game. So right now I've got like 100, but compared to, say, my crude weapons, which use 32 ammo, that's massively lower, right? So yes, generally speaking, you should be relying on 32 ammo, then supplement that with something like the service rifle for sniping those enemies that are quite dangerous or tough to reach. Okay, once you're done looting the place and you've got your service rifle, then go back down the stairs and go west. Just follow the road. Probably better to avoid those barrels, eh? Oops. Hello. Who's aggro? Oh shit. Oops. Just keep going, keep going. Cut through the park. I should have snuck. Anyway, you're headed for that bunker over there. You could have gone down the road there. But yes, we kind of found ourselves in the middle of a firefight. There's a couple of scavengers over here. But they're not gonna fight you unless you go into their little enclosure, right? So yeah, just leave them be. They come here, get on the road. You can also hunt the rabbits if you want. They're a good source of food. So even if you're not playing in survival difficulty, food is actually very good for healing. Especially because the mod makes stim packs quite a lot scarcer and more expensive than the base game. So yeah, you should be relying on food if you can at all. Then when you hit this area, there should be a plane above the little hill over there. Or maybe not. Oh, we've come a little bit too far west, in any case. But yes, that way you can avoid most fights. Generally, the animals seem to be quite peaceful, unless it's those foxes, which will tear you to pieces, basically. So avoid foxes, but otherwise, most animals are okay-ish. But you want to get here. This is the bunker. There's a number of ways to get here, usually without too much combat. The outskirts bunker. So the government, as it tends to do, was running some kind of a bunker out here. And I think there may be a few plants you can harvest on the outside as well. But yes, this poor sod over here has a tape as well. Yep, there you go. I think he was an officer. Yes, he was an officer. There's a bit of ammo, etc, etc. But the point is, you want to get in here. And we're inside. Do not enter. Yes, of course. Of course, something went wrong in the bunker. You can't go in there. I strongly advise against it until you get a few levels at least. But yes, you can also hear some enemies inside. Hello. Yeah, you're not supposed to come out of you, pendejo. Bloody hell. Skipping through walls. Anyway, there are a few rad shrews. Bit of ammo, I don't think the flashlight does anything. I think that's just junk. Yeah, it's just junk. In any case, bit of ammo, blah blah. But most importantly, weapons and an armor workbench. There's only a couple of armor workbenches in this area at all, and this is one of them, and it's the easiest one to access. But now you want to get inside. Yes, you don't want to fight these bastards. Oh, he didn't die. Where'd you go? Oh, he's... Oh, okay. Maybe don't go in there. Or maybe don't go in there. Let's try with some Molotov cocktails, eh? Let them burn up a bit. Okay, got 2. Okay, now let's bat this guy. Oh, got him finally. Yeah, you gotta make use of your long range. Anyway. After all that, took me quite a few tries, I have to say. Quite a few tries. Anyway, Molotovs for life, man. Molotovs for life. There's, yeah, combat helmet, which is actually quite good. Once you upgrade it, it's actually better than the police riot helmet. But before then, the riot helmet is actually superior. But this is what you want. This right here is what you want. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It is a combat rifle. So yes, this is the automatic version of the service rifle. And just like the service rifle, it uses the 303 ammunition. So unfortunately, I do not recommend using this until you get access to an ammo workbench. The easiest one to access is at the Thames People's Market. If you go downstairs, right, into the actual market, there's a store that has an ammo workbench. But even after you start crafting ammunition, I don't recommend using this combat rifle. But I'm just showing you this because it is there, right? And I'm also showing you this place because you want access to an armor workbench. You can modify it quite a bit once you get a few perks in Gun Nut. But generally speaking, I wouldn't recommend using this. I would actually recommend you save your 303 ammunition for the sniper, right? Okay, so if you follow my advice, you should have a good weapon for melee, the longsword, a good weapon for medium range, the revolver, and a good weapon for longer ranges, the service rifle. Those 3 should be able to tide you over for pretty much most of the early game. So let's quickly demonstrate how good they are though. We're right in front of Bromley South Station. And there's a little base of hooligans. Let's take care of them. Let's wait until they're de-aggroed. It's a lot easier with a scope. But because we're short on ammunition, let's swap over to the revolver. Oh shit. Oh shit. Wait, why am I not using my sword? Oh, right in the head. Shit. Okay. That was not the best place to start the fight, right? I think we're kind of well protected here. So as you saw then, the service rifle is actually quite good at long ranges, just because it's accurate. The crude revolver simply cannot match that level of accuracy. The sword itself, as you saw, was very effective. Very, very effective. I do have strength 10, but still, very, very effective. Now, let's get a little bit closer and finish this off. Oh, he moved. He moved his head. Bastard moved his head.
Gotcha. Or not.
Or not. You're seeing things, mate. Been drinking too much. Oh, what the... Yeah. The revolver's not the most accurate. You definitely want a longer barrel with the revolver. There you go. Bingo. But when it does hit, it is pretty effective, I have to say. And finally, for the turret, because it's facing inwards, we should be able to finish it off with a few. Yep. A single sneak attack at 3 times damage, good enough. I don't know if we took damage from that, but wouldn't have been that much. Okay, so there you go. Yep, okay, these guys only had melee weapons, what the hell? I did kill one of them actually, with the first snipe. Right, there's a crude gun. There's a very high chance that you'll end up with crude guns out of these guys. Oh, this is actually a good find. This one's good, because you actually want these weapons to be automatic. A lot of them actually drop as semi-automatic, which is really bad. So if we just attach a reflex sight over here, this will become one of the better weapons you can find. Obviously a better stock is good, but you don't tend to find too many of these weapons with good stocks. Large magazine is great, long barrel and standard receiver are great, iron sights could be better, but generally speaking this will be a good weapon for when it hits the fan and you need to pull out something and start shooting down range, right? Just spray and pray. And because it's 32 caliber, you should come across plenty of this ammo. So there you go, as you saw just then, the weapons that I showed you had to get are very powerful at this stage. You've got the longsword, you've got a shotgun, you got a revolver, and you got a sniper. And if you also modify the service rifle to have a silencer and a short scope, it'll be even more effective than you saw just then. Because enemies want aggro, and that makes a huge difference. In any case, if you follow my 2 guides on how to get the armor and the weapons, you should be in a really good position. The mod should not be anywhere near as hard as people are finding it to be. There are better weapons that you can find as you play, but generally speaking those 3 should be able to tide you for a long time. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when new videos come out. See you soon.